and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Alleluia, alleluia. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said, "What comparison can I use for the men of today? What are they like? They are like children squatting in the city squares and calling to their playmates. We piped you a tune, but you did not dance. We sang you a dirge, but you did not wail. I mean that John the Baptizer came, neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and you say he is mad. The Son of Man came, and he both ate and drank, and you say, here is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. God's wisdom is vindicated by all who accept it." Sisters and brothers, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Happy the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. And let us honestly ask ourselves, is that our day-to-day feeling as Christian Catholic followers of Jesus? That we are blessed, we are happy, because the Lord has chosen us to be his own, even and in spite of the day-to-day hurdle and struggles that we have been going through the past 7 months caused by this pandemic. Happy the people the Lord has chosen to be his own is taken from the book of Psalms, chapter 33, verses 2 to 5, verse 12, and verse 22. And I hope and pray, again, in spite of these trials, hardships, and all that has been caused by this COVID-19, we continue to say to the Lord, thank you, for you have chosen us still to be your own. My dear friends, today the Church celebrates the feast in honor of 2 saint martyrs. Saint Cornelius, who became a pope and then a martyr, and his partner Saint Cyprian, who became a bishop and also became a martyr. Saint Cornelius was from Rome, and then he became a pope. And it was Saint Cornelius, pope and martyr, who made the orders that the bodies of Saints Peter and Paul be translated, meaning be transferred to the places where they suffered martyrdom. It was this Saint Cornelius, pope, who ordered and instructed that the bodies of Saints Peter and Paul be translated or carried or transferred to the very places that both of them suffered martyrdom. Saint Cornelius was so religious and faithful in adhering to his duties as the vicar of Christ, as the Pope, and as a Catholic. And Saint Cornelius opposed the many things which then at the time the pagan emperor Novatian wanted for all of them to follow, including the Pope. And as a price for opposing the pagan emperor Novatian, he was arrested, he was exiled, and in the year 253, he was beheaded by the order of the emperor, the pagan Novatian. We go to Saint Cyprian, who became bishop and martyr of the church. He was a bishop of Carthage, Africa. Again, also in standing out and being steadfast and firm to the teachings of the church. He was also beheaded by the emperor, the pagan emperor Valerian. It was on September 14, 258. A lesson to learn, my dear friends. We should be encouraged in imitating these two martyrs, Pope Saint Cornelius and Bishop Saint Cyprian, to religiously and faithfully perform our duties in life, even if they would require courage, faith, and even the giving up of our lives in defense of the faith. And looking into the message, my dear friends, of the Gospel reading of today, the Wednesday of the 24th week in Ordinary Time, taken from the Gospel of St. Luke chapter 7, verses 31 to 35. The Lord is inviting us and then challenging us if we do have the same character and behavior to children described in the Gospel today. Just because, and referring to the children in the Gospel of today, they could not get what they wanted. Just because they wanted to be dancers and not singers. So the children, as described in the Gospel today, they sat on the pavement and they become what we call petulant. They were so disheartened, they became so discouraged, and they became so disobedient simply because they could not get things which they wanted for themselves to get and to do. So the question then today for all of us here, my dear friends, how do we react when things do not get our own ways? Do we also become ill-humored as the children, as described in the Gospel today, were? Just because they could not get things as they expected and wanted them to get and to do, they became ill-humored. They were disheartened, they were discouraged, and they became rebellious against authority. And that should be our attitude as well, and behavior and conduct, in examining, especially here, in our ministry and participation in the Church of Beloved Shrine in Santa Teresa. If we do not get things which we expect and we want to be done, do we also become ill-humored against people, against associates in the ministry, and even against the priest running the church. And that should be of concern to all of us in our reflection today on the Gospel of Luke chapter 7, verses 31 to 35. Please stand.